guys, नमस्कार, bonjour and welcome back to the new video. आज हमारे साथ है Anastasia. We are going to talk about her and yes, stay tuned और पूरा last तक video देखो क्योंकि in the end she is going to share something super awesome which you all are going to come and watch and text her afterwards. Alright, nice to meet you, Anastasia.
Nice to meet you, Madhvee. Hi guys, nice to meet you all.
And about you, who are you? I come from India.
I come from Russia and I'm French also since recently.
Nice.
You can do it faster, but it took me almost 7 years to get there.
Wow.
So yes, I have been living in France for more than 7 years and I came here for my studies and I stayed.
And did you study masters?
Yes, I did masters.
What? From which school?
Oh, that's a great question because I did 2 schools. I had 2 experiences and one of them was great and the other one not so great. So my first school was not the perfect choice. And then I did a master in management in ESSEC Business School, if you probably heard about it.
Right. Would you like to tell about the first school?
Yeah. Yes.
Maybe not say bad words.
No, but yeah, it's just when I was making my choice, I was just looking for a master in France that would be related to luxury management. And I picked a fashion school without a lot of research. I tell about it a bit in my Instagram about my story. And I did everything wrong. I didn't research a lot. I didn't ask people about their feedback on that school. And eventually when I came to France, I realized that it's not even a recognized diploma. And that...
Something similar like me, I think.
Really? It was your experience as well?
Yes. Because I came to France and the viewers might know. And I didn't research either. I just wanted to come out and I just took to a school which told me that my diploma is recognized and I will get a APS, job search visa. But then they said like, no, it was just a diploma. You get nothing, just a document. I'm like, what? So maybe similar like this, which you have.
Yes, it was a bit like that. I had a chance to do an internship in France, but then it was over. My visa expired, and I was like, I did something wrong on the way. And at the time, I already met some French people and learned a bit more about how things work here and how jobs work here. And I reapplied. And I got to HEC, ESSEC, ACP, and all the other schools. I came back to do my master in ESSEC Business School, which was really great.
Nice. But why did you choose France? Because for me, it was not the first choice. I somehow landed in France. I don't know, I should not say stupid Paris, but I will say stupid Paris.
I always wanted to go to France. I was obsessed with France and Paris.
With Eiffel Tower?
With the Eiffel Tower.
Everything.
With Parisian atmosphere, with the French language, with French history. I came on holidays with my parents when I was 11 and we did a trip in France and in Paris. And
that's where she decided she wants to be the Emily in Paris.
Yes.
Sorry, Anastasia in Paris.
And I started learning French and coming on holidays whenever I could. And when I was finishing my bachelor back in Russia, for me it was sure that if I go study abroad, it will be France, Paris. Yeah.
Straight. No other countries.
Well, I mean, I love traveling, and probably if it was not France, I would probably go to Italy, that I love a lot, or to UK because of the great schools and universities there.
Okay.
But Paris was my first choice, my dream. So that's why when my visa expired, I was again obsessed of going back.
So did you go back to Russia and then came again?
Exactly.
Oh.
Yes. I had no more visa.
But that's I don't think so. That is so difficult for like us Indians. Because if you go back to India, then again you have to show the funds. You have to apply for the visa. If you don't have money, take a loan, and then it takes time.
I redid everything. Yes.
Wow. It's the same process in Russia as well?
Yes, it's the same process. It's the same process as for Indians and for almost all non-European students. It's the same. You have to reapply. You have to get admitted to school. Then you apply for the visa, and you prepare all these papers, and you go through the process. It's the same.
So I have a question. Like, did you learn your French like you were at a level when you finished your masters that you could speak very fluently?
I learned French for like 10 years during all my studies in Russia.
Okay.
And then I came to Paris and realized that French that you learn in the textbooks
It's not the same.
not the same as you know very well as French in real life or French in professional environment. And I think in my internship, I did my first internship in France in L'Oréal, and in the 3 months, first 3 months of my internship, I think I learned more than in the 10 years because I was, you know, thrown into the language environment and I just had no choice. And in the beginning, I understood everything that was written, but I would stay silent during lunches because I didn't understand anything people were discussing or jokes they were making or references they're talking about. And I'd be like, why is that funny? Or even job tasks they were giving me or telling me things really fast, and so it was hard.
At that time, you already knew French.
Yes, I knew
but still,
French.
you wouldn't like you were not able to understand because
it's
speaking English, speaking French is very different than they write.
All this conversational French in the office, it was quite hard. I think I was in a good B2/C1 level maybe. In terms of grammar and vocabulary, but and I was really shy to speak French, especially to speak French on the phone. I was very scared of phone calls, and then eventually, after a few months, you know,
it just comes naturally.
It just comes naturally.
Now you're almost like Parisian.
Now I speak French a lot, and then I continued working in French. So then, yes.
So did you study your master's in French or in English language?
In English language. Both masters were in English.
Okay.
And in ESSEC business school, I had a choice, so I could pick some classes in French, which I forced myself to do.
Nice.
And so I had some classes in French with French people as well.
Right. All right. That's cool. That's all, guys. I'm kidding.
Do not skip it. I know the video is a bit longer than usual, but she is going to share some of the awesome and amazing tips and secrets to get job, to get internship, how to get admissions in universities and colleges. So stay tuned and watch the whole video. All right.
So just for कि you might be wondering कि where am I sitting? मैं इनके घर पे बैठी हूँ. I have been invited by her. So this is her house, and she bought the house, guys.
It's really not that easy, especially since in France you have to have a stable job for both renting or buying an apartment. So for example, now I am an entrepreneur, I'm on my own, and in that case it would be quite hard to rent
wait
and to buy.
Did you just say entrepreneur?
Yeah.
What?
Yes, I quit my job.
My journey I will share. To France I did a master's 1, and when I applied I didn't know that for getting an APS you need a master's degree. Why I didn't know? Because I didn't research much, and there were no YouTube videos like mine or other YouTubers as well who can give more insight, because now I think people go on YouTube to find details more than go to consultant. So I came just by talking to the representative of the colleges, and they verbally said that yes, you will get job search visa, and it was not written, so I couldn't confide with them at the end of my school. But then I realized that there is no point studying because I paid around 10,000 euros, which is not expensive, but for a diploma it is.
Yes.
But the students were nice. Like I had really had amazing, classmates. The kids were nice, but then the school wasn't the one. So I thought of doing master 2, but then I'm like, again I have to pay, so it will be like 25,000 in total. So I'm like, no, let me find an internship, let me work, let me see. So I found an internship. He gave me a CDD after my internship for like 4 months, but then he had some personal issue and he left France and he settled in Spain, and he's a French guy. I'm like, okay. So I was left with the choice of go back to India or to take admission in some school. And then I somehow managed. I'm not going to share what, where, how, but I somehow managed to get my degree. And in between I found this job where I work. It's a startup, and I'm the one who does everything. Like
Mm.
if wine is spilled, I will clean it as well.
Mm.
And if I'm not there, my director will clean it as well.
Mhm.
So it's very much, how do you say, very direct experience with director as well as with the clients who come and who talk. And I get to know more about the wine culture in France.
Very important.
Yes.
You said at some point that you need to maybe get a second degree and pay a
Yes.
lot for that. So I'm going to tell you a secret. I studied in ESSEC for free. And there are many international candidates don't know about it, and I
Yes.
didn't know about it. And there is this opportunity to work and study at the same time, and a French company pays your tuition fees.
That is called apprenticeship?
Apprenticeship, yes.
Apprentissage. Voilà.
And it's not available in the first year of your life in France. So I got a scholarship and I paid a little bit in the first year. And then I started this contract, and the school basically gave me the money back. And so for 2 other years, I was working and studying, and I was working in department store in Paris.
Nice.
And I was buying, like negotiating with beauty brands, which was like the beauty industry for which I came to France originally. So that was really fun, and then I did some marketing there as well. And that was amazing because it helped me save. Well, my program at the time costed about 40,000 euros, and it's like 45 now. And I was also getting a salary. Well, a really small one, but still, still as a student, it was. It
So
was great.
I have a question on this. Did you apply to apprenticeship? Like, did you find the college first,
Yes.
and then you
Yes.
have to see whether they allow the apprenticeship,
Exactly.
and then you have to find the company, or the
Yes.
college helps you to find it?
Well, helps, yes and no. No, you have to do everything by yourself.
All right. Okay.
There is, of course, the career center, and there is like the meetings with companies and conferences and career fairs, where you have to go and be present and network and meet people. So they kind of put in place the infrastructure that helps you find it. But you apply yourself, you prepare your CV, you pass your interview. So there's no like placement of students into companies.
Okay.
Yeah.
One interesting question, not related to studies. Do you think French people are rude? Because I get so much in comments.
I hear that Russian people are very straightforward.
Okay.
We just say what we think or write what we think. And then in France, I had to learn, for example, in professional emails, for example, to be very polite and you do not just say, okay, this is not good, let's redo it. No, it's like, oh this is great, but and then
we can try a different approach.
We can try a different approach.
Wow.
So straightforward, not compared to us.
Okay.
And rude, it depends. I think Parisians are, of course, a bit arrogant because they think that they live in the best city in the world.
But do you think it's the best city in the world?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yeah, I still do. I really still do. Also, like in the business school I studied in, I met a lot of people that are quite open-minded because they are used to studying in an international environment. And then I worked for French companies where people were very nice. Then I worked in international companies as well as a consultant. And of course, it depends on company culture and what kind of people you meet. But I met some amazing colleagues that I made friends with, so I eventually made some French friends during the 7 years.
Good. I feel, and I suggest to students who come, that when you come, I will tell to stay with your people, not your people, basically, with whom you can gel. For example, if I come from India, I have no relatives here. I have no relatives anywhere except India. So when I came here, I was like, okay, if it is an Indian, maybe he or she will understand me better. So I suggest that you stay for the first 6 months with them, figure out the city, and then you just move out. Because if you want to just keep making Indian friends like me, there is no point coming outside.
It's true. It's true. I met my French friends through work mostly and studies, because in my first master there were only foreigners, and actually I made some really great friends there. My closest friends since forever are Italian and Brazilian, because we ended up in this program together.
I couldn't. I had all Chinese classmates, and they all went to. Actually, they all went went back to China after
Yes.
finishing master's degree because
Yes.
they don't stay.
Yes.
They just stay here for the studies and they go back to.
It's true
Yeah.
for most of the people from my first master as
Yeah.
well, because it's really hard to stay if your school is not that highly recognized, because it's very hard to find a job. So yes, many of my classmates went back to their countries, and then I had an internship in French company, met French people, and then in the SEC also. And during my apprenticeship, I worked in really franco-française company,
Wow.
so they were only French. And I have, of course, a big circle of Russian friends, obviously, that I met through also studies and friends of friends, and also through my Instagram blog that I used to have in Russian before. And I used to have a blog on Instagram, and it grew a little bit big.
Quite big.
Yes, until 20K followers.
Yes.
And then I decided that I would like to switch to English, but still keep my Russian speaking account. So I started from scratch in English, and maybe, well, getting inspired by you, maybe doing YouTube one day. I don't know. We'll let you know at some point if I have a channel in the comments, but now not yet. So just switch to writing on Instagram in English. Yeah, so I'm an entrepreneur today, and I'll tell you a little bit more about it. Now I am an entrepreneur. I'm on my own, and in that case, it would be quite hard to rent.
Wait.
And to buy.
Did you just say entrepreneur?
Yeah.
What?
Yes, I quit my job. That. So I used to work in a French company in consulting firm. And all this time I was helping foreign students, and a lot of Russian students, but some Indians as well, some French people, to get into the best business schools in France and in Europe. Because I made this mistake myself. I picked a wrong school first because I didn't do enough research. I didn't talk to people. I couldn't find all the right information. And then I did everything right to get to a SEC. And for me, it was very important to help other people do the same. So it was very important for me to help other people to not make the same mistakes as I did. And since then, in parallel with my work, I helped hundreds of foreign students get into the business schools here in Europe. And this year, I finally quit my consulting job to build a company out of it. And that's what I do today. Woohoo! I publish a lot of articles and free content about how to choose your university in Europe, how to study for free, how to find a scholarship, and I also consult on one-to-one. So if you have questions and if you want to evaluate your profile or to choose the best program for you, you can come and we can discuss that, and I will guide you through this process. And now I'm happy to say that really I had more than 100 clients getting into HEC, ESSEC, LBS, Bocconi, and other great schools here in Europe with scholarships sometimes. So yeah, I'd be happy to help as many people as I can on those matters.
She doesn't help only for France, she helps for all Europe.
Yay.
Yes, that's the most important thing, because I think we generally think for France, and people who ask me, they ask for France, but I'm not aware of other countries. So I say that, don't just jump in, see my video and come here.
Yeah, for sure.
Because, for example, for architecture, Italy is nice. Italy is good, and there are universities which give scholarships,
for sure.
and you can just apply to them.
I know mostly about business degrees.
Right.
But yes, about different countries. And do not jump to a country or to a school just because you saw my video, Madhvee's video. I will really push you and advise you to do as much research as you can to pick the best program for you, because the objective is then to find the right job and to feel happy in another country. And settle. This choice of school is really fundamental before, and I always try to push my clients to choose the best, the most well ranked, and the nicest school. And sometimes people are scared because they think, oh, it's too competitive or it's too expensive. But no, it's really accessible to many people. You just have to really work on that. So yeah, everything is possible. So a few tips I'd like to share with international students coming to France. And number one would be learning French. Start working on your French before coming here, once you decided you want to go to France. And yes, it's possible to stay and settle and find a job without speaking French, only with English, but it's just way more complicated. Like, you reduce your chances a lot. So il est temps d'apprendre le français. Allez, start with French right now. Another tip would be to really make your research before applying to schools. And I don't mean Googling for 5 minutes or just watching one video on YouTube. Go talk to alumni, go read different articles, try to read some information in French maybe, go to consultants sometimes, and be very careful about consultants. That's my tip number 3. If you see consultants who are telling you, I will get you to any school for free, or to a school for free, it basically means that the school is going to pay them, so they are biased and affiliated with certain schools there, they're going to push you. And that's not objective. So they will not advise you the best place for you. So be very careful about that. Number 4, tip number 4, because we're already at 4. Before choosing your program, think about your objectives and your career plans. What do you want to do in France? Why do you want to do that degree or that school? And that reflection will actually bring you to the exact program that you need and that will help you settle here and find the right dream job for you later on. And my last tip, as we just discussed with Madhvee, do not compare yourself to others, to your friends, to your relatives, to your colocataire or whatever. Only compare yourself of today with yourself of yesterday, and everybody has their own long path. And for example, it took me really several years to settle and establish in France because I redid my studies. And people from my bachelor program, when I was finishing my studies, they were already having some junior or middle level positions in great companies, and I was still a student. Well, it doesn't matter because that's my path and my way, and it was really important for me to do my career in France. So don't do that. Take your own path, and good luck on your way.
I will share the link of her Instagram and of her website.
Yeah, and we have
So
some free resources on the website.
Yes.
We will
So
share.
she posts a lot of comments on Instas and which are very useful. So be professional, talk, do your research, and then you can contact. And
thank you guys for watching.
Thank you so much
Thank you
so much for this time, and thank you for
You're
watching.
welcome.
Share and like and follow her Instagram account, and keep follow, just share it like anything, everywhere, in
Thank
all
you,
the
guys.
countries.
Bye.
Bye. Landed in France, but why did you choose France? Because you are not an Indian student, and
Yes.
So what you're saying is it's not enough. Just write it off like a prescription drug.